What is up, guys? So as I mentioned in the last video and forgot to show you, I got a new daily, new tow vehicle. We sold the truck and picked up this new vehicle for a good price. There's a couple things wrong with it, and there's a couple things I want to do with it. So we're gonna take today and do this. So basically, it's an 03 Tahoe. It's pretty clean inside. It's got a lot of miles, but I think the motor is replaced because it's super clean. And yeah, this thing can tow more than the truck that we had. It's more comfortable. We can sleep in it in events. And it's like an all-around better daily. It's super quiet. There's no real issues with it. What I do have to do is just change the coolant. There's a coolant leak for sure, but I'm not sure what coolant's in it. So I figure I'll just do a flush and get everything out, put all new stuff in it after I fix the leak. There is also the AC belt was like it popped, so got a new AC belt, gonna throw that on, and also I got a backup camera for it, just because I am probably the one that's gonna be loading up the trailer by myself most of the time. I want to be able to see. It'll just kind of aid me, and also, just to be honest, I'm not used to driving these vehicles this big, so it'll help me park in kind of the crappy parking situation that we have in this neighborhood. So 13 bucks, super easy to install. So I'm gonna run through that first and then get into the other stuff. So I'm gonna put the link in the description below, but this $13 camera from Amazon is actually like badass. I bought it for the MR2 and I was like, oh, it's probably gonna be like super blurry, you know, whatever, but it's like as clear as a camera on like a brand new car, and it hasn't like given me any issues yet. So I assume it's probably fairly decent quality. So I can recommend it to you guys. So I'll put that in the link in the description below, and I'll show you guys how to install it real quick. Alright, so when you get the camera, it comes with all the wiring and stuff required, a little bit of instructions, but it's pretty self-explanatory. First thing we need to do is kind of figure out where we want to mount the camera. Not 100% sure how I want to do this. I think I want to put it like here. I mean, I want it obviously kind of centered somewhere over the hitch, but where exactly is going to be the issue? I kind of just kind of have to play around with some spots. It's rusty down here. Can't really drill through there. I feel like if I just put it here with like self-tappers or something, it would be tacky, but that might just end up being, that might just be what I do. Because if I were to put it in like the hatch somewhere, I don't know, I feel like it would get compromised somehow. So yeah, this might be what I do. I might just drill a hole and then run the wires through there, slip them up somewhere. Well, yeah. Alright, so I quickly put some like markings where I'm gonna mount this. This is plastic, so I should be able to drill through it pretty easy. Drill 2 holes, and then I'm just gonna bolt it and run the wires somewhere. I don't know, we'll figure that out. Might drill a hole here and like run it up through or something. Okay, so I mounted the camera. I really wish I had like some black hardware so you can really see this, but it is what it is. Now we're gonna figure out how to get these wires into the car, and I think I have a little idea. Alright, I want to give you guys a quick rundown on how to wire this up before I button everything up. So it's gonna come with like a power cable. So you take the power into the power cable, connects it to the, you know, the power of the reverse light, ground to the ground of the reverse light, plug it in, then you're gonna run the cable all the way through, however you want to run it, up into your head unit or whatever, plug it into the reverse camera output, and then take that red wire on the other side, and you should have a little reverse spot on your head unit, and that's where you put that. So once you do those things, test it, obviously before tucking everything away, and you should have a reverse camera. So it should literally take you about 10 minutes to actually figure out the connection to get everything working. So now we're gonna go on to get me an AC belt on here. So watching FD and also just replacing this AC belt, got everything apart. I also think I found my coolant leak or something. I found some kind of leak back there. I'm gonna figure out what that is, and then hopefully fix that. But yeah, down here is where we're at right now. So we'll finish that up and then move on to the next. Well, after some digging, turns out the heater core is fucked. Yeah, so that thing needs to be replaced. I am not doing that though. It is about to be super hot and I don't care about heat while it's super hot. So I'm gonna loop off or plug off the lines or whatever, and then replace the heater core in the fall or something, I don't know. As far as the AC, I got the belt on and it was making like a really crazy noise. The compressor does spin by itself. I'm suspecting it has like a bad bearing. The heat or the AC was like getting really cool. It just sounds like hell. So I'll do some diagnostic more of that and try and figure out what it could be. For now, the AC belt is just off. Once I figure out what it could be, then I'll fix it. If it comes to just replacing the AC compressor, sure. But I really don't think it needs to be the entire compressor. It spins freely by hand, so it's probably the clutch or the bearing. I mean, the AC turns on, so I can't imagine it's the clutch. So it's probably just the bearing. So we'll figure that out later. But for now, I'm just gonna fill this thing back up with coolant, bleed said coolant, and then loop off the, or before that, loop off the heater core line. So I checked the bearing on the AC compressor and it seemed okay, but then I noticed that the tensioner was pretty mangled. I mean, this thing says, I can't loosen it, but right here, if I was able to take tension off, you'd be able to see this thing go completely back and forth. So I replaced that. That was pretty cheap, like 30 bucks. So I got the new one on. So I realized that the coolant leak was coming from the heater core. So I'm not gonna replace the heater core right now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the heater lines, and just kind of plug them and drain the coolant out of here because I need to put new in anyway. I'm just gonna flush it. But I'm gonna plug those heater core lines and then just address the heat, having heat in the fall. I'm not gonna worry about it now because it's like this week is gonna be like 85 degrees all week, so pretty much done with the cold. So we'll address that later. I've always taken off the dash and all that stuff. I don't really have that much time to do that. So we're gonna plug this thing and then flush the coolant, fill it up with new coolant, and then bleed it, and then we should be good to go. So this is super ghetto, but we got some bolts and some post clamps tied down super tight. We'll zip tie this out the way once you know that it doesn't leak. Like I said, this is just gonna be temporary until the fall. I'll probably change this plug setup if it does leak, and then we'll replace these lines and the heater core. But it's just a lot of work for something that I'm not even going to use, so there's no point. And you know, if it's just going to keep leaking the heater core, it's just going to keep leaking. It's going to eventually make this truck overheat. So might as well just get rid of it for now. So I'm gonna flush this thing real quick and then bleed it, and then hopefully the AC is working. That's like the big thing out of this. Okay, so I changed my mind. What I had previously, like these bolts, it's not gonna work. It's already leaking. I haven't even like turned the car onto the water pump. It's flowing water just by pouring water in here. It was leaking. So I went out and got like adapter barbs to fit. I'm gonna loop these two lines together and then we'll be done. Should be good to go from there. And yeah, I'm gonna do that real quick. Definitely turns out that the noise was definitely coming from that tensioner, so we fixed that. That's good. Right now I just filling the system up with water, distilled water, to flush it out. In a second I'm gonna turn it off and re-drain it, and then we'll fill it up with actual coolant. Alright, so went ahead and finished that up. Got the coolant bled, filled the expansion tank back up. So just a little bit of quick, I guess, maintenance. Just getting the tow vehicle ready. I got to do the brakes now, but then when I'm done the brakes, we'll be all done here. Real quick before we swap the brakes on the truck, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the MR2. We did get approval for Global Time Attack, so since I don't have an ECU yet, the best thing that I could do is just get this car to 100%
so that all we have to do is tune it and then it's good to go. I'm going to take the time over the next couple weeks to kind of tech it myself, which means I'm just going to take the rule book and then just go over every inch of the car, make sure that it's up to spec. Anything that needs to be replaced, get it replaced. Because yeah, it's an expensive event and I don't want to waste my time or anyone else's time or my money. So right now I'm just going to go through and clean the car. I'm not going to show you guys that just because it's probably pretty monotonous. But next clip should probably be me doing the brakes on the truck.
So it's time to do the brakes on this truck, and I'm wearing a hoodie because I know I'm gonna get super dirty. And I'd rather get the hoodie super dirty than my arms and stuff super dirty. Looks like it might storm. I'm trying to get this done quick. I might not be able to finish it all today, but I'll do as much as we can. Look at my car. Look at my car, dude. I don't know if you guys can tell. There's so much pollen. The car is basically green at this point. It's insane. Anyway, let's get to work. So we got brakes done. Just gotta put everything back together, and then yeah, that's it. So we did put these slotted rotors on here, slotted and drilled rotors, because I don't know, people say they work for towing. They help out. They were $2 more than the normal ones, so I said, what the heck, why not? But yeah, that's it for this video. I'm sorry that it's been short. Sorry the content's been lackluster lately. But Global Time Attack's in a couple weeks. Lemons is next week. So stuff is happening and will be happening, and I will bring you guys along for it all. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing. Enjoy the rest of your day.